I still remember the way the sun hit my uniform that morning. Crisp, white, perfectly pressed. I stood tall in front of the mirror, heart racing with pride. Today was my commissioning day, the day I officially became a second lieutenant in the United States Army. After years of sweat, tears, and sacrifice, my dream was finally coming true. My name is Sarah, and I had fought so hard to get here. My mother passed away when I was 12, and my stepfather, Robert, was the only parent I had left. For years he played the role perfectly, attending my ROTC events, pretending to be proud when I got accepted into the military academy. He'd smile for the photos and tell everyone how lucky he was to have such a strong, determined daughter. But deep down, something always felt off. The little comments. The way he'd tighten his jaw when I talked about my future in the service. The quiet resentment in his eyes whenever I succeeded. That day, the ceremony grounds were filled with proud families, gleaming uniforms, and the sound of marching bands. I scanned the crowd and found Robert sitting in the front row, looking sharp in his suit. For one brief moment, I let myself believe he was genuinely happy for me. I walked across the stage as my name was called. The general pinned my new rank on my shoulders, shook my hand firmly, and said, "Congratulations, Lieutenant. Your country is lucky to have you." The applause thundered. My eyes filled with tears of joy. And then, everything shattered. A loud scream cut through the cheers. I turned just in time to see Robert standing up, face twisted in rage, pulling a handgun from inside his jacket. The world slowed down. People started running. I froze. He pointed it straight at me. The next few seconds were pure chaos. Someone tried to stop him. A struggle. A shot rang out. I felt a burning pain tear through my left arm. Blood soaked my brand new uniform. I collapsed to my knees on that stage, the same stage where my future was supposed to begin. The general beside me exploded in fury, shouting commands as security rushed in. All I could hear was my own heartbeat pounding in my ears and one thought screaming in my mind. They rushed me to the hospital while Robert was taken into custody. As I lay in that sterile bed, staring at the ceiling, the pain in my arm was nothing compared to the pain in my heart. This man had raised me. He had sat at our dinner table for over a decade. He had hugged me at my high school graduation. And now he had tried to destroy the most important day of my life. The investigators later told me the truth that broke me even more. Robert had been stealing from me for years. Money my mother left in a trust. Savings I had put away for my military career. He was deep in debt, gambling, bad investments, and a secret life he never wanted me to discover. My success in the Army threatened everything. Once I was commissioned and had access to better benefits and legal support, I would have been able to dig deeper into our finances. He couldn't let that happen. He had planned it. He wanted to make a scene big enough to ruin my reputation and my career before it even started. He wanted me broken, dependent, and stuck under his control. When I found out, I cried for days. Not just for the physical wound, but for the girl who had trusted him. The girl who had called him Dad. I felt so stupid. So betrayed. The man who was supposed to protect me had become my biggest threat. Nights were the hardest. I would wake up sweating, hearing that gunshot again. My arm healed, but the scar remained, a constant reminder every time I put on my uniform. Some of my peers looked at me differently. Whispers followed me. For a moment, I almost believed he had succeeded in destroying me. But something inside me shifted. I was done being the victim. The pain that nearly destroyed me slowly turned into fuel. I started digging. I hired a lawyer. I went through every financial record I could access. And what I uncovered was worse than I imagined: years of emotional manipulation, financial abuse, and even evidence that he had been forging documents after my mother's death. I stopped crying. I started planning. Robert thought one bullet would silence me. Instead, it woke me up. With the help of my commanding officers and a sharp legal team, I built an airtight case. The military took my situation very seriously. Not only did the civilian court charge him with attempted murder and assault, but the financial crimes came crashing down too. I stood in that courtroom months later, in my dress uniform, arms still bandaged, and looked him straight in the eyes as the judge read the verdict. 15 years. No parole for the first 10. Every asset he owned was seized to repay what he had stolen from me and my mother's estate. He cried. He begged. He called me his little girl. But it was too late. The mask had finally fallen. After the trial, something beautiful happened. My story reached higher ranks. Instead of being defined by what he did to me, I became known as the officer who refused to break. I received support from women in the military who had faced their own battles. My career didn't end that day on stage, it actually began to soar. Today, when I look at the scar on my arm, I don't see weakness anymore. I see proof that I survived the worst kind of betrayal and came out stronger. If you're watching this and you've been betrayed by someone who was supposed to love and protect you, hear me clearly, their cruelty does not get to write the ending of your story. Let the pain fuel you. Get the evidence. Build your case. Protect your peace. And never apologize for choosing yourself. Robert tried to ruin my big day. Instead, he gave me the strength to create a much bigger life. Thank you for being here with me. If this story touched you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment with the word strength if you're choosing healing today. Until next time, stay strong. Your comeback is coming.